Buttons have been pressed.
All right. Come on, where's my link?
It's 10-1.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on the Red Eye Report, we're talking about the new World Screwworm. With us, our usual cast of Screwworms. We have On Again, Off Again Oracle. Maybe It's Maybelline Mystic. Tickle Me Tender Teddy. And Always Got an Excuse Ashtray.
Tickle Me Tender Teddy. I love it.
Who else had the maybe it's Maybelline song in their head when Ashtray just said that? Maybe it's Maybelline.
That's one of them. I'm surprised they haven't brought back on a retro skit. But before we get to our main topic, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we do our Pause for the Cause donation drive for the Dane County Humane Society. And this week's pet is Tickles, the cuttlefish, who was lost his job at SeaWorld after taint touching too many of the workers.
Oh, man.
DCHS taking in the best of them.
They've been, he was fucking warned. He was warned. Boundaries.
You touch anyone in the taint, they're not expecting it, man. Right. Make them jump.
Before we move on, I looked up a station today. It was a radio station. I just came across it in Ohio. The call letters are WNKN, Wankin.
Nice.
And it's a Christian station. And the name of the company that owns them is Relevant Radio. Dude, it's almost like they're just trying to be made fun of. You know what I'm saying?
Relevant Radio. That's the best way to...
Sonic radio station name on the
planet. All right. Have any of you guys heard of this fucking New World Screwworm?
No.
Probably not.
And I don't want to.
It is scientifically known as Cochleomya hominivora. Hominivora is actually Latin for man-eater.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, also known as the acronym NWS. It is a parasitic worm that causes myiasis. Myiasis, I might have to pronounce that right, but basically that is a medical term for an infection of maggots in human flesh. Now, unlike your traditional maggots, which we have used in, for actual medical practices for people with gangrene, to eat away the dead, rotten flesh, the screwworm likes the live flesh. The real deal. Now, though, unlike I'm sure you've all heard of the bot fly. You see videos where it's like someone it's like, what is this? Fuck, this pimple's huge. And it turns out it's like a larva in their scalp. The bot fly is similar in the sense, although they say the botfly itself isn't necessarily eating the flesh of its victim. It is eating the pus that from the wound that it creates by burrowing in. But the botfly lays just a couple larvae on their victim. The New World Screwworm can lay hundreds of larvae, like up to 400 or 500. Then the female flies, they lay their eggs around open wounds, so they can't get in through your regular skin. But they were a huge problem for our livestock industry because anytime a cow would scratch its leg on a barbed wire fence, or maybe has like a sore eye, any soft tissue, even the mucous membranes, or in one horrible video, thank God they blurred it out, was this cow's vagina infected with screwworm.
Man.
It goes for the soft flesh.
Fuck.
But actually, statistically, about 80% of its victims are actually newborn calves, or they will any animal, any mammal, basically, even deer, pets like your dog could get it. Humans have occasionally gotten them. And the thing is, it will lay hundreds of eggs on the edge of the wound, and then the eggs hatch in these little maggots called screwworm. But you see those pictures, like if you're scrolling down there, they got these big like vampire fangs in the front that they hook in, and then around their body they got these tiny little tines. And whenever an animal is infected and they start scratching the wound because they feel something eating them, they screw in deeper. The maggots will cause severe tissue damage, even death. And 3 to 7 days later, the larvae gorge themselves enough that they then fall off into the ground. They'll burrow into the ground and then pupate. 7 days later, they emerge as an adult fly. Their life cycle is only about 20 days, but the female can lay in their life cycle up to 3,000 eggs, and they can fly in a range of about 120 miles. But females, once they mate, they only mate once for life. But the sperm they get from the male fly, they will retain that their entire life cycle. So for as long as they're alive, they got enough sperm to keep making eggs. Males, on the other hand, will mate up to 10 times in their life cycle. And historically, this was a problem in United States, Mexico, Central America, and the northern states of South America. And currently, it's pretty much just a problem in South and Central America up to the Panama Canal. And that is because of this thing known as the transcontinental screwworm barrier, which is why this story is pretty fascinating. This guy, Edward F. Kipling, was a USDA entomologist who was actually studying these screw flies. He was a farm boy who actually experienced them himself. And prior to the 1950s, that was actually one of the major duties of all cowboys, like the traditional cowboys who would herd cattle, was to actually check the cows for these screwworms and slather like some ointment on and try to. That was really the only method we had prior to the 50s. But this Edward Kipling, he was the first one to actually discover that the female fly will only ever mate once in its life cycle. And so he thought, well, if the females only ever mate once, like, what if we could sterilize these flies somehow? And if we have sterile flies in the environment and they mate with the females won't lay eggs. And so, of course, he got drafted into the war. Him and his team. He actually was also part of the team that made DDT. And it was through making DDT and then seeing how much it fucked the environment up. That was that pesticide that like killed the insects and then like killed the bald
birds.
Eagles. Yeah. So it was.
It was a wrestling.
Was that?
I thought it was a wrestling move.
That too.
DDT. Yeah.
God, which wrestler was that?
I don't know. A gay one.
Was that a Stone Cold? Yeah, one of the gay ones. So this entomologist was like, oh fuck, I don't want to make this DDT. I don't want to use pesticides to try to solve this problem. But also, this is post bombing Japan, and we found out, oh, radiation can sterilize things. And after following research from Feller scientist who sterilized fruit flies, he started using an X-ray machine at like this local army base and started doing studies where they were zapping screw fly larvae with different levels of X-rays. And they figured out the right amount of radiation to sterilize the fruit fly or the screw fly, but not turn them into a mutant retard. Because the whole goal.
Yeah, you get like just you create the fly.
Yeah, exactly. You create a monster. Or really, more likely, you would just create these mutant ass flies that were so stupid, like they couldn't fuck to save themselves, let alone even though they're sterile. So in 1951, they started this airdropping these dud sterilized screw flies over some secluded islands. I think like south of the Florida Keys somewhere. It took a while, but they eventually, like after 2 years, they finally got an isolated enough island that they succeeded in eradicating the screw fly
Hmm.
by just unloading all these flies that grew themselves in the lab and then irradiated. So by 1957, they started a campaign in basically all the southern states east of the Mississippi River. In 2 years, they got rid of the screw fly.
Damn.
So then from 1962 to 67, the western states of the Mississippi were like, we want in on this. It became a bigger logistical issue. So they actually created another big full facility in Texas, Mission, Texas. They created a worm plant, and they would make 200 million sterilized flies each week.
Hmm.
And they would feed them. So how they raise these fly larvae is they got to feed them, right? So initially they were feeding them ground beef and blood.
God,
Like
what a
ground beef.
fucking nightmare.
I know. It was so expensive that in the initial stages of the research, like they were shipping these boxes of fly larvae over the like regular airline packaging, and they refused to ship them because they reeked so bad. So they started drenching the boxes in cologne to like get their packages through.
Oh, what if you like a passenger airplane?
I don't know if it's passenger airplane or if it's or like it could have also just been it's like in the cargo bay of the airplane, but like the guys on the tarmac who are loading those boxes are like, oh, what the fuck is this? You know? They so ground beef though was expensive, so they went to cheaper meats. They were feeding them horse, whale, pig, cow lungs.
Wow.
And each week they're consuming 240,000 pounds of meat and 10,000 gallons of whole blood. Nowadays it is a more economical. Like it's basically they make a mash out of like blood, and cellulose, like that's like a thickening agent. And they just make this like nasty ass blood mash. They feed them in trays. If you scroll down to there's a video. Let's see here, Worm Factory video. If you click on that
great.
one.
Oh, ready for some nightmare fuel? Here we go.
It's not as bad as some of the other videos where it actually shows some of the infections. Those are really nasty.
The worms fall from the wound and burrow
but
into the ground to pupate.
They work in 1981. They have so they eventually pushed down into Mexico in the 70s. Made an agreement with Mexico because like, okay, we got them eradicated for the most part in the United States, but they are a fly that comes from the tropics, so they're working their way up through Central America. So from like the 70s, they worked with Mexico all the way through 1981. They actually pushed them down far enough in Mexico. They closed the Texas plant, and moved a plant down into Mexico, and then that plant eventually moved to Panama. Whereas like you see in Central America, and just the same reason why the Panama Canal is where it's at is because it's so narrow. So they found that it is easier and cheaper to create a barrier at the narrowest point of land. So that's why this plant has been down in Panama, where they have 115 people work 24. The plant runs 24/7, and they make 20 million flies a week down there. Now that's current level. They were making about 20 million flies a week. Back when we were doing it in the United States and that grinder level, they were making 200 million in the Texas plant. But because we've actually pushed this fly down over the decades, as you see up into the 2000s, early 2000s, we finally got it down to Darien Gap. And that narrow part of jungle. So it's cheaper. There's a lot less flies you have to drop over the land area to keep them at bay. And they also have it's basically an agency that's paid 80% paid for by the United States, 20% paid for by Panama. And it's seen as it's a cost saving measure for the it'd be billions of dollars in lost cattle if we were still dealing with this pest.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a good 20 years, we've had this factory down there where 3 to 4 days a week they're airdropping. They used to throw boxes of fucking fly larvae out, but I guess they found out sometimes the boxes didn't break open when they landed and the flies just died inside. So they converted a pill dispenser that works like instead of dispensing pills, it spits out a certain number of flies, and they're kept refrigerated in the lab where they're grown. So once they hit the warm jungle air, they kind of like wake up and they're like, "Oh fuck, I better go mate with something." And so these duds mate with wild females, and then the wild females are like, "All right, I had my sex. Like, no more sex for me. That's the screw fly rule." And they then go to about their life cycle to lay eggs on animals, but they end up not being able to lay any eggs because they mated with a dud. And the thing is, it's been going ever since, where 3 to 4 days a week they're airdropping these flies over the Darien Gap. And then they also have monitoring stations all around the Darien Gap, and they do routine checks of local farmers. And also anytime cattle crosses, like when Mexican cattle are coming into the United States for sale, they're inspected at the border. That is that's like a normal routine we've always done. And because of that, we got a fucking breach. About a month ago, the USDA actually put a halt on all imported cattle from Mexico. That might be also why, if you go to the grocery store, you know, beef prices are up. Because anyone buying Mexican beef has to now buy American beef because no Mexican beef is coming in, at least live cattle. In 2022, cases in Panama went from what normally was about a dozen cases a year, because there still is a wild fly around that area, went up to over 1,000. And then the flies started moving north, and by 2024, they really started on the move to where now, just last month, they are 700 miles from the Texas border. So basically about 20 years of progress of pushing that pest down to South America. Mind you, they don't talk much in these stories about how South America has to deal with it. But part of it too is now that we've gotten it down to Panama, it is just Panama as far as a state that we have to negotiate with to keep this program running. To get the program running in, all these South American countries, it's like a bigger logistical nightmare. But that doesn't matter really anymore, because as of recently, they have pushed their way up into Mexico. Part of that is during the pandemic shutdown. It halted supplies for the fly larvae factory in Panama, so they were not running at their normal capacity for a while. And combine that with there's an increase in illegal cattle trade from Central America, and also that the Darien Gap, which is like infamously known as like impassable, right? Like there's just like some jungle trails, or like if you want to pass through it, like you're hiking or riding a horse and then getting on a boat, and then hiking some more and sleeping in the shit. There are now so many narco trails and people from South America who are traveling to get to the United States. That, and because these people can carry them too, they get a cut on this fucking wild ass hike from South America trying to find a better life, and then they carry some screw flies up north with them. So yeah, there actually was recently a bipartisan bill that the USDA is now putting like $20+ million into converting a fruit fly plant in Mexico into a screwworm plant. But that's the thing, is like, just like moving your factory to another country because of fucking tariffs, it's not lickety split.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna take a while. So who knows? Watch your
Trump, I don't
watch your
understand
pets.
like that.
There was even a one of those, was it like Animal Planet shows, like Monster Inside Me or something like that. It was about this little girl who had like an irritated scalp, and they thought like she had like a bad sunburn on her scalp because they all went out, swimming at the local water hole or something like that, or came back and she had, or actually she must have been traveling abroad because there haven't been cases in the U.S. But she had screwworm in her scalp, and the doctor was like, I leaned down close and I could hear this.
Oh man.
Sound. So watch your kids, watch your dog. That's the new World Screwworm.
Everybody up in here.
Yeah, they eating everybody flesh up in here. All right, that was our main topic. Move along since we got this limited, less than an hour to go.
Disgusting topic.
From that disgusting topic, we're going to go to some sexy topics with Oracle, Last of Us.
Last of Us, finally getting on the Last of Us TV show bandwagon on HBO.
I only watched the first season.
Didn't you bitch about that? Oh, that was Andor.
That was Andor. I haven't had time to take in Last of Us, so I can bitch about that one too. So far, so good. One thing that's really kind of fascinating, because I did play both the games on PlayStation, is they cover a lot of, they've added some things, they've changed some things, but also they've retained a lot that was in those games. And I'm fucking watching that and I'm like, that was in a fucking video game from like 2010. Just the amount of fucking story beats and how good those story beats actually were or are in Last of Us. So I'm watching on season 1, so that's the first one that came out in like 2010 or somewhere around there. 2011.
That long ago, was it?
I think so, because it originally came out on PS3.
The HBO show?
No, the HBO show.
Oh, you're talking about the game. Sorry.
Yeah, the game. Because it retains a fair amount from the video game. A lot of times you'll have an adaptation. They got to put a lot of shit in there or change a lot of shit because it's a video game, right? Like,
yeah.
There aren't a lot of actual story beats to really keep a show going.
Right.
And this actually, that game has so many good story beats, and it is just so strong, and that's something that I'm realizing. The show's good. I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, Last of Us, HBO.
You're on season 1?
Season 1, yeah.
I've only seen the first season, but I've seen a lot of people online bitching about season 2.
Uh-oh.
But
yeah, I've never played the game, so I enjoyed season 2, but there are certain parts where I was like, we could speed this up a little bit here. Like
hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Off the
there, now I can hear you.
Oh shit! I was talking the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, Teddy.
But I don't know if that's how it went in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty close to the games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't know what people are bitching about. Because
they got to bitch about something.
Oh, they're bitching about the actress, how she isn't like, super pretty.
Yeah, but she's a fucking incredible actor, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
Like she is fucking.
Yeah.
She's good.
Teddy, have you seen season 2?
I've seen part of it. The part I haven't. I saw the episode where Abby and them killed Joel. It was pretty close to the game. I've seen a little piece of when she found the black chick and she killed her slow to find out where Abby was.
I don't know why you're saying things.
I mean, I played the game, so I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm talking about. She fucking, dude, she shows her fucking chops in that shit, man. If she doesn't get like an Emmy nomination for that whole episode, I don't know, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Word. All right, moving along. Mystic, buyer's remorse.
I'm really enjoying this fucking Elon Musk's fucking
Oh, it's getting
buyer's
juicy.
remorse. Because he gave all that money to Trump and now doesn't get his fucking what he wants, and now it's like a Twitter battle and it's fucking hilarious. Just grown ass men. The president of the United States is in a
the richest guy in the world.
online Twitter battle with the richest man on the planet. This is fucking, you can't make this up. It's and we're here. We're front row for this shit.
We're
Well,
front row
recently I
for
heard
shit,
was he
popcorning it up. Just
dropped the the reason you don't have the Epstein files is because Trump is in
Yeah,
there.
because Trump's in the Epstein.
Trump's in there, yeah.
I mean, we already knew that, right?
Right,
Did
sure.
Musk actually say that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's fucking great.
I know. That's the thing.
Guess
It's, like,
Oh man,
it's one thing that we
Musk
all
is in
knew it. It's another thing
Yeah,
to
Elon's in
like.
them too.
oh my
Yeah.
god, that is really
What's
good.
funny is that he said that in response to the original post was somebody saying we should impeach Trump and let fucking Vance take over. And Elon's like, I agree. And then he posts some shit about Trump fucking being in the Epstein files. And nobody's reporting on the fucking impeach Trump shit, which
oh
is fucking
man,
hilarious, dude.
yeah, that is fucking great.
These fucking tech bros are just going off.
Yeah.
Great.
When I heard, isn't Trump like, we're gonna take away all your government contracts?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking hilarious. This
And
is
we have the astronauts up at the space station. They're like, no, wait.
Yeah, right. Wait.
We don't want to get on that
For-
Boeing Starliner. Ashtray did a whole episode about it.
oh shit. Anyway, that's it. It's
All right,
simple.
moving along to Teddy. His switch two bitches.
Well,
Parentheses,
I
so
switched it.
gay.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I'm the one that put so gay on there.
I'm pretty sure. I don't have any cons yet. The pros one, it's got a lock screen now, so you can actually put a code to lock your shit.
So your kid can't just
Um,
pick it up and start playing.
Yeah. This is the new one. Comparison. This is the old one.
Bigger. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, size wise.
Yeah. I mean,
New
it feels meatier. The when it's docked, you can. Oh, I didn't mean to change it. When it's docked, you can go to 4K if you want.
That's a
Getting
big
my all my information up on here. You when you set it up, it's so fucking simple. I'm loving it so far. My family's loving it. We got all of our profiles on here. My son is on.
Meanwhile, they're all
my
waiting
father.
to play it. Come on, Teddy.
No,
let's
they've
play.
been playing it. Yeah. My son's had it all day. My wife went and picked it up. So yeah.
Now, does it work with the
I'm
same
gonna
old dock from the first one? Or
It
is
works.
a whole new dock?
I've not tried it with the same dock. I don't think it works because the adapter requires more. Another thing, I do have a con. You can't use the micro SD cards you already have. You have to use these new ones called Express micro SD cards. Because they write faster, and that's what the system requires. So it's kind of like Nintendo's answer for a solid state hard drive.
Could you
so,
use Express in the original Switch?
No, you can use any micro SD card.
Okay.
And I use the scan discs, the XC or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
And it's not. No,
Okay.
it has to be say Express or have EX on it.
Okay.
Express,
yeah.
like the newest version of SD cards, then?
Yeah, because the write speed's faster. Yeah. I think I'm liking it. Can't wait to hack it and get it bricked.
Where'd you
I am
get
gonna
it?
steal
Yeah,
Nintendo.
break. How much is that thing again? $600.
And I paid in total $7. Okay, I was supposed to pay $7.19. I only paid $5.19
Okay.
because I think the guys at GameStop were retarded, and I didn't correct them on it.
Okay.
My
yeah.
my son was like, Dad, I thought that.
Shut up.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, shut your
Shut your
mouth.
mouth.
Here you go. I looked at the receipt to make sure I had everything I paid for on there.
This is a time to lie. My
So
son.
don't they just
I've got
they have like 3 games for that right now, or
they have
Mario
I've
Kart.
checked the store. They've got more than they say they have, but they also don't tell you if they're Switch 2 games or Switch 1 games.
Mhm.
One good thing about this is when I loaded it up, It had all my games already on there,
Really?
so I could download them to my console,
But like
or
your
I could share
library
them,
shows them.
or I could share 'em with somebody, and everything else. So
That's
having
nice.
it's like that whole little thing about being afraid to having to buy a key to play your games and stuff. Not the case.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't wait to get an extra one to test out this sharing, and to see how far it goes, and who you can
Yeah,
share
is
with.
it like you're loaning a game and they can play it for a certain period of time?
Well, I'm
Which I
not
thought
sure.
would be a good idea to like incentivize people to buy a game, like give you a limited
did.
time to try it.
They did update the original
A
Switch
demo?
to have the same.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe not necessarily even a demo, but like you get the full game, but it's like you only get to play it for 2 weeks or something like that. Or maybe you only get to play 50% of it.
Yeah.
They did update the original Switch so that it can have the same properties of game sharing stuff.
Oh,
But my
nice.
Switch isn't up to date because it's modded, so I haven't tried it out. But yeah, other than that,
Word.
Prince Kill.
All
I'm playing
right.
some Mario Kart. goddammit.
Yeah, right. Teddy's checking out for the rest of the episode.
I am
Moving on
not.
to me.
I'm right here.
Ukraine's super sneaky drone attack. You guys hear about this?
No.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It was like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. I think like over the weekend. But yeah, so, and of course, like I just heard just the brief headlines that like, oh, they attacked some warplanes in Siberia. It's like, fuck, man, that's a long ass way for fucking drones to fly
Mm-hmm.
into Siberia. I did a little more digging and found, and this also must be another example of the future state of warfare, is like they're gonna pull off just like the fucking pager attacks, right? You pull off some like ingenious attack, but then like the way you did it gets leaked like right within days. And almost half of it is the country leaks it themselves to like, propagandize and show like, look what we're capable of. Meanwhile, also giving up how you did it. But you see these videos here, like these fuckers, they were like those nimble quadcopters that it wasn't like these long range kind of jet glider ones that like Iran uses. These are like, oh, we'll just like drop these down, land them right on these fucking planes. And these are like some of Russia's, like they're old school nuclear bombers. And you see in this one clip here, this like semi trailer, it looks like it's carrying one of those like, people build a house out of shipping containers kind of thing. Like it looks like prefab housing units. They made these special prefab housing units where they actually have like the roof would open up and they have like a whole hidden layer of drones hidden in the roof. And then so they managed to either bribe or sneak past. So they didn't fly these little quadcopters all the way into Siberia. They snuck past the Russian border with these semis, with these like fake prefab units on the back, and literally got within 1 to 2 miles of these different targets. There's like 4 or 5 different. They hit like one of their nuclear submarine facilities. They took out a bunch of some of their legacy fleet planes, like their long range bombers that they actually don't even manufacture fully anymore. They took out, I think, 41 of their bombers. And so, yeah, they snuck in with these semis and parked within a couple miles of these airfields and targets, and then waited for the like encrypted green light to go. And then they would launch each, semi launched dozens of these drones, which were then controlled by drone operators back home. And then, pulled off this like sneak attack where if they were the long distance glider type, like that shit, those do ping on radars.
Sure.
And
yeah,
they have a lot of jammers and stuff. Yeah. Like they would have got shot down or
horsed them. We get
what's
it.
that?
They Trojan horsed them. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
We got 15 minutes.
Look at this reporter on the back.
Oh, we're still in the what
Look
section
at his
yet?
fucking eye.
Quasimodo here.
I know, he looks like fucking Quasimodo. Anyways,
I mean, it's the BBC. They don't give a fuck. I mean, you got to be like porn star level to be a national correspondent in the U.S. But
yeah,
fucking
not in Britain.
in Britain, it's
Let
just
'em
like
talk.
just give Quasi the fucking microphone and let him rip.
Let him go.
All right, moving on to fuck what you think. Oracle American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
It's
it's
a
great.
semi-simulator?
It's a semi-simulator, and you know what? It's a great thing. My son fucking loves it. Like, so I have to play it, but he
So he can
fucking
watch.
yeah, he loves it. And you know, I enjoy spending that time, but it's
Do you use
also
it with
like
your full driving rig
I
too?
don't. I just do it with the controller.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, it's fun enough. Not really. I'm
At least you're
enjoying,
really into the nuance of a city map.
you know, just kind of enjoying the time. The nice thing is, though, you can just you put some music on in the background and whatnot, and you just fucking driving. You're just driving a semi.
It's not like real time, is it?
It's
like-
not real time, but it's not fast either. I mean,
Wow.
it takes a long fucking time.
Missions? Do you like go deliver shit in Manhattan or something? You know what I mean?
All the stuff. So I don't think they've released all the states. So the states are the expansion packs. I have most of the kind of western states. So I'll have to deliver a fucking load from Albuquerque to Los Angeles and just drive on the fucking interstate.
So do you have to, is it more getting out of the origin city to the interstate and then it does fast travel to the city you have to deliver to and then you have to navigate into that city?
No, you're just on the fucking road. You're not.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Here I thought it would be more like cool because
No.
you're actually driving in a virtual map of the city.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, you're just out on the fucking on the road, out in the desert
Oh,
fucking roads.
Now, do you have to back it up to the loading dock and shit like that, like
Yeah,
real semi-drivers
Yeah,
do?
yeah. I mean, you can do like a fast thing, but you know, by the time it's like I just want to do something that's
Yeah,
not
right.
just
I've been
driving
just
on the
pushing
road.
my stick back and forth.
Right. Yeah, that's basically it. Just pushing the stick back and forth. And
Do they throw wild cards at you like deer and drunk drivers?
not deer and drunk drivers. The extent of the wild card is occasionally you will go to take an off ramp and it will be blocked off because there's an accident and you have to find a detour which extends your trip by
Then
hours.
damn, you're gonna lose
Yeah.
money.
Yep.
Are they gonna get like a lot lizard expansion?
A lot lizard expansion. You know, maybe when they run out of revenue from doing all these states, you know, they've done all the states, they'll
Right.
probably have to, you know, it'll be like The Sims. The Sims, they've been releasing fucking expansions for that for like fucking, you know, 15 years or whatever.
Right.
I'm sure they'll get creative.
At some point, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like, you see, after a while, I guess I thought the interest would be you're driving around the specific city and trying to navigate a big truck, which would be tricky and difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you try to deliver shit in Manhattan or downtown Chicago. Like that's gotta
No,
Yeah,
no,
right. Like, you're
it's
stuck in
not
Lincoln
like
Tunnel,
that.
and all of a sudden there's an explosion. Oh.
No, it's not like fucking Crazy Taxi. It's just boring as fuck simulator.
All right. Well, on that fucking thought, Mystic, scamming ass bitches.
So we're moving in July, so we've been looking at places like and jobs too. And the amount of fucking blatant scams out there is just astonishing. It really fucking is.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like
like
no
pyramid
one's
scheme jobs and
smarter
shit.
than
It's fucking crazy.
Like Facebook is just a cesspool to begin with, but like
Mhm.
like I just like glanced at a couple Facebook fucking groups of places to rent in Point, And like, I shit you not, like, I think all of them were scams. Like, there's just fucking like these places that look like they're $2,500 a month for. It's only $1,200, and it's. I just need an $85 fucking,
Application fee.
application fee, but you have to pay that before you even see it. Like, what? No,
Right.
nobody's
Yeah, right?
done that. You don't fucking pay before you see it. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Mhm.
Like, my wife was fucking with one of them. Like, she kept messaging this fucking person. Like, if it eventually got to the point where my wife was like, "Can we just like talk on the phone?" And she's like, or whoever was messaging was like, "I'm a deaf mom with 3 kids," and my wife's like, "Wow, coincidentally, I teach at a sign language school and I'm fluent in sign language." We didn't hear anything after that.
Oh,
It was
that's
just
amazing.
dude. And they're fucking scamming college kids, man.
Oh yeah,
85 bucks for a
dude.
college kid. That's ridiculous.
I'm sure they just
Mhm.
fucking kill in a place like Stevens Point, a college town.
Yeah.
Just fucking kill.
It's insane, man. Like, it's to the point where I'm sure people who have legit properties that they don't want to pay to list and they just want to put it on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
aren't getting anybody to fucking contact them because they think it's a scam.
Right.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's
mean,
it. I mean,
It's like,
so it got to the point where I just fucking started calling up actual property management companies or real estate companies and like asking them what they had, because if you don't have a physical business I can come in and sign the lease at, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not giving you any money.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway,
It's
yeah.
a bitch out
There we
there.
go.
All right. Moving along to Teddy. Only having 1 hour for the show.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. We can't find a fucking service that we have to pay for. That we don't have to pay for there. Because we only can have an hour for the show. I think it's fucked up. It's goddamn un-American.
Fucking un-American.
Un-American.
Goddamn commie Skype.
Goddamn. I remember back in my day, I wasn't even allowed on the internet, but we still have more than a fucking hour. Right.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll be telling our children, you never heard of Skype. Boy, back in my day, we could talk all day long about nothing.
Yep.
All right.
Up next is Ashtray.
Me. Phone repair runaround.
Who's got 9 minutes?
So I had my fucking phone. One of those falls. It's like, my phone has fallen farther than this before. But it just, when you hear it land, you're kind of like, oh, that doesn't sound good. And it fell off the windowsill in the bathroom, but hit the heating vent, and like the whole screen was just like static green. Fuck.
Do you have a
I was
Samsung
like-
or an iPhone?
Samsung Galaxy S23.
Okay.
And then it's like, fuck, do I still have I'm pretty sure I have the accidental insurance. God, I hope I have the accident insurance. I did. But
Yeah.
nowadays, though, it's like, I remember back in the day, one time, getting frisky with my girlfriend at the time, and she yanked my pants off, and my phone was still in the pants, and the pants went down on the bedroom floor really hard, and it was like, oh, that sounded loud, but whatever, didn't think of anything of it. And then once we got done playing, I look at my phone, and the whole screen was shot, similar to this, like, fuck. But back in the day, you go into the phone store, and it's like, my phone, yep, dropped it during sexy time like you do. I have the accidental protection plan. They'd be like, no problem. They pull a new one out from the
You
back.
actually would tell them that?
I can't remember what I said. I
Why,
did.
man?
Yeah,
If
it's
you have
like,
the
yeah,
insurance,
I
you
don't
know,
need to
give
know
me a
that.
new one.
Say I dropped it. Dude.
Right?
That's all you gotta say.
I was having sexy time if you wanted to know.
Yeah, it was a drop, a sexy drop.
Why are you whispering, sir?
Sir, why are you whispering in my ear? Please don't
Please
cross
get
the
out of my
counter. But yeah, they would just like transfer your shit over, and you got a new phone that day. Well, now that was like, oh, the Verizon store is like, well, we actually don't handle any repairs here. You have to file a claim through the website, blah blah blah. So I was like, well, if you go to the you break it, I fix it store, like they usually have the parts there, like they might be able to like get you started today. It's like, oh fuck, all right, drive to the other side of town. Do you fix it store? Are you here for a pickup? I'm like, oh no, Verizon sent me here. Oh, Verizon sent you here? Would you have a claim started? Well, no, like I don't think they started the claim, but they sent me here and like, well, you got to start a claim first. Scan this QR code. It's like, I can't fucking scan the
Right?
QR
My
code.
phone's fucking
My phone's
busted.
dead. I can't even unlock it. And so, of course, I had to write down the fucking website to me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, fill it on there." And they're like, "Our store will come up. You can set up an appointment to drop it off." So, start filling out the thing back at work online, and then it says your nearest store, Janesville. I'm like, what? Janesville? Fucking A. Turns out,
far
oh
away is-
well.
How far away is
some reason-
Janesville?
Janesville is like 45, 50 minutes south of Madison. It's like there are 2 You Break It, I Fix It stores in Madison, but they were not coming up from the accident insurance company, whose name is on the card I got from the You Break It, I Fix It store. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I called the store and they're like, well, here, you have to call the number. And like, you have to go through all these hoops because it just keeps pushing you. Like, nobody wants to talk to a person anymore. The Verizon store people don't even want to deal with people with broken phones. They just push that shit off. Had to go through this fucking rigmarole and then try to get upsold insurance for my TV or any extra electronics I might have. I'm like, I just have my phone. The insurance plan I'm using right now, like that's it. This is in addition. They're like, yeah, it'll save you lots of money. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Save me
Don't
lots of
need
money.
Save me money on equipment I don't have. So after that fucking shit, finally they actually sent a tech out the next day, and they came in like a van and took my phone, and in a half hour got it repaired. So like the
Wow.
repair part was awesome.
Mm.
Figuring out how to take advantage of the insurance plan, and I didn't have to pay even a deductible, because when they used to replace your phone, you did have to pay a deductible. But so
Like $150, I think.
yeah, it used to be $100.
Yeah, it used to be.
Probably
Yeah.
150 now to get a whole new phone. But
With the
as far as
insurance,
like
it's gonna be about $29.
replacing my screen, $0, and they came to my work and did it. Like fucking safe glass repair, safe glass replace.
So you know what's funny is my phone insurance is the same shit as yours, and if you go on the website, you can set it up to have them come to you. I've done it twice in the past 3 years. Brought my phone fix.
See, that's
and
the thing.
they
I
will-
was actually a little
you can
suspicious
set it
of
up.
like on-site visit.
I'm
Like,
like,
well,
yeah.
sounds scammy.
Yeah, you can. All you gotta do is go do the claim over the phone,
Oh.
over your laptop or tablet, or whatever, and you can have them come to you.
Yeah, them
I
coming
use
to me.
somebody
once
else's.
I got it scheduled. That actually was smooth, fast,
It
and I was
Took
impressed.
no more than
But
2 hours. He was there in an hour, fixed my phone, in an hour I left.
yeah, so
I don't know why you went and harassed the people at the store.
because I guess I was used to the last time I broke my phone and had to use my insurance plan, like they gave me a new phone there, like moved all my information, like wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
It's like a decade ago.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, more than a decade ago. That's what I'm thinking back on it. It's like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Get with the
long
times, old man.
lesson learned, I know, right? Get to the
Everything's
times. They
internet.
come to you with your expensive insurance. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Chef Boyardee.
Chef
We're gonna-
Boyardee.
What
Be
a
here
dumb
every-
cock.
I know, right? He hasn't been giving us real beef in decades.
What did
He's
what
been
did Spaghetti-O Boy ever do? to you,
he's been
man?
giving us screwworm beef, making
Spaghetti-O
ravioli.
guy.
Jesus,
All
shut
he
up.
gave me was holes.
Oh,
That's probably what they feed the screwworms now. Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Right?
Chef Boyardee.
We're going to be here every Wednesday or Thursday night, most likely Thursdays, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure to join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. Don't even bother trying to X us. This is a Red Eye Report. Like us, share us, fuck us, because we are down for whatever. I am the Ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
I'm Mystic.
and I am Teddy.
And we made it in time.
Word.
Ba-ba-da-bum.
Dude, I was trying to say earlier, the first time I've heard of those screw